In Arizona's extreme heat, it's important to not only, of course, look out for ourselves, but also for our pets. If you plan on taking them hiking, even on a walk, listen up. Dr. Billy Griswold of Priority Pet Hospital is here with tips to keep them safe. There are things that you really have to worry about with your pets in the summer heat.
Absolutely.
Why is it so important?
Well, pets are a lot more sensitive to heat than we are. So when we sweat, we're able to cool using the entire surface of our body, but dogs rely on panting. And so Edgar, for instance, his evaporative surface is only his tongue, the size of the palm of your hand. And so they're not as effective at cooling themselves off as we are.
A lot of people think, oh, they're an animal, they can adapt, they live in the wild. What do you have to say to that?
Well, that if you go out to Phoenix Zoo today, right now, all the animals will be in the shade sleeping. And they're active primarily in the early morning and the late afternoon hours, or even overnight, because they're smart enough to take advantage of that.
Okay, so what are some things we should consider when we want to keep our pets safe in the Arizona heat?
Right. Well, first remember that they're more sensitive than we are. Never ever leave a pet in a parked car. All it takes is one misplaced paw to shut off the AC or lock the doors or close the windows. Yeah. Practice water safety. So Edgar here is a strong swimmer, but even strong swimmers can get tired. This flotation vest helps make it a safe and effective way to exercise him during the heat of the summertime.
Now, I have a question about that because there's a lot of people who, you know, the dogs just hop in the pool like all the time. Should you allow your dogs to do that? Is that okay?
Well, it's unavoidable in some cases, particularly if you have a dog door.
My dogs stay away on their own. They're like, yeah, you're not getting me anywhere near that.
Yep. But in general, dogs and kids are very similar when it comes to the swimming pool. Is you want to keep them under supervision at all times, just in case.
All right, just in case. All right, we have another friend here. He's a little bit quiet today, but he also has something that can protect him from the heat. These little booties here, tell me about those.
Yep, dog boots come in a variety of styles, and you know, finding the appropriate fit for your pet can be a challenge. So you always want to try and bring them to the pet store or the outdoor store where you're getting your equipment. They will walk a little funny for the first few times that they try them on, but they'll get used to them rapidly, and they can protect them from burning their feet on the sidewalks.
Yeah, you don't realize that till you put your foot down. You're like, oh my goodness, it's so hot. What about water and outside? You know, maybe your dogs have a dog door. They're in, they're out. What should you leave them before you leave for the day?
Make sure they always have access to plenty of cool water, so indoors and outdoors. If they have to be outside, you also want to look at the shade patterns in your yard. So, you know, you may look out back in the morning and see there's nice shade under the tree on the east side of your yard, but come afternoon, that's in the blazing sun. So they need shade and good cover and fresh water throughout the course of the day.
And what are some other things to think about as far as, like, what about their bed and different things like that?
A raised bed can be really helpful, particularly if they don't have a cool, like a tile patio, but a bed that gets them off of the patio where they can sit, kind of like a cot, can help allow the air to circulate around them.
That's a really good idea. Now, how do we know if our pets are in trouble? Like, you come home, your pet's maybe acting a little bit differently. How do we know if it's like, wait a minute, something's wrong, it might be heat related?
Right. The early signs of heat related illness can be hard to spot, but loud or excessive panting, bright red gums, weakness or disorientation. Dogs will sometimes, when they're developing heat exhaustion, will walk like they're drunk. Vomiting or diarrhea shortly after or during exercise can be early signs as well.
What should you do?
At that point, you can start first aid, and so you want to get them out of the heat, get them out of the sun, get them into the shade or indoors. Never ever dunk them in ice cold water or even cold water. That will cause their skin to get cold and will trap the heat at their core. So we want to use tap water or just room temperature water to wet down their fur, wet down their feet, and then get them in to see a veterinarian immediately.
All right, and you can find out more at PriorityPetHospital.com. Thanks so much for being
Thanks
here.
For
we
having
appreciate
me.
it. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it, guys. Hey, again, PriorityPetHospital.com to find out more. Call the number on your screen.